Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Planning and Zoning meeting, September 16, 2025. Roll call, please.
Okay.
Kelly.
Member Gustafson. Member DeBaptiste.
Present.
Member Siggety.
Present.
Chair Khalil, or Vice Chair Khalil, sorry.
Here.
And Chair Ferber.
Here. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag, States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Okay, let's start out with public comment. Seeing no public comment, we'll close that. Approval of the minutes from the July 8th, 2025 meeting. All in favor? Aye. Great.
Who made second? I'm sorry. I don't hear microphones on, so I'm sorry.
You're-
Siggety.
Yes. Did you get that, Kelly? Okay, great. So first item we've got here is the quasi judicial hearing for development plan review 6470 North Ocean Boulevard, which I think is right next to right to our north right here, right? So let me first read at any time any ex parte communication shall either be disclosed by identifying the subject of the communication and pretended to be the person, group, or entity with whom the communication took place, or any correspondence be provided to the town clerk and made part of the public record. In addition, each member of the commission may identify the existence of any investigations or site visits he or she has conducted, or any expert opinions received, and disclose any conflicts of interest on this matter. Members, do we have anything to disclose here?
I do. The only thing I would disclose is I have represented the neighbor to the north in the past, Jeff Eder and his wife. That's dealt with his property ages ago with various things.
There's all the various things that could happen to this property. Yes. Okay. Kelly, swear in those who would like to give testimony, please.
Okay. Will anyone wishing to speak on this item, please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? When you are called forward, please state your name and address clearly for the record and whether or not you've been sworn in, and please speak directly into the microphone.
Kelly, thank you. Corey, not here this morning. Oh, you do? Corey?
Mr. Chair, board
Good
members,
morning.
I'm coming to you remotely.
Good.
Apologies for not being able to make the meeting this morning in person.
Okay. Are you able to give us your report remotely?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Thank you.
Board members, Chair Corey O'Gorman, Town Planner. This is the development plan review for the property at 6470 North Ocean Boulevard, which, as the chair pointed out, is the vacant property to the immediate north of Town Hall. The application requests approval for a new two-story duplex residence with each unit including 5 bedrooms, 6 full baths, 1 half bath, 2-car garage, a pool, and a spa. The project has been reviewed by the town staff for compliance with town zoning and civil engineering regulations. Regarding the zoning regulations, since this duplex application is different from what the board is accustomed to seeing, the staff report includes a summary of the zoning regulations for this use in an RMM district and what is proposed to better illustrate compliance, including the maximum density requirement and what is being proposed in this application. Please note that because the units are intended to be sold in fee simple, one of the conditions includes the requirement to provide a unity of control prior to permit issuance. The unity of control will be reviewed and approved by the town attorney and will ensure that since the property will be divided and sold, any future improvements will be consistent with approval by the town. In addition, attached to the staff report are conditions of approval from the town engineer that will also need to be addressed during the building permitting phase. There also appear to be some minor inconsistencies between several of the drawings based on a discussion between myself and the zoning official. So staff recommends an additional condition that all site, civil, and landscape plans are consistent with each other. Finally, staff recommends approval of the project with the conditions as noted and subject to the review of the project by the Planning and Zoning Board in accordance with the requirements of Section 6356, which are outlined in the report. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to try to answer any questions, and thank you for your time and considering my presentation remotely this morning.
Corey, thank you. Any comments or questions?
How many other sites are there in town that would have a similar development
Zoning?
zoning?
Well, there's quite a bit of property that's zoned RMM. I'm not sure that there's any that would be similar to this in particular that would provide for a duplex development. But there is a fair amount of RMM, residential medium density, in town, mostly on the south end of town and in this general area.
And that allows for the duplex, correct, Corey?
Yes, sir, it does.
So it is zoned permitted for the duplex, just so we're all clear.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Hearing no further questions. Okay. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Tara, our town engineer, could you give us your presentation, please? Your report.
Hi, I reviewed all of the documents for this property and it appears to be within the town standards for our drainage code, with the following or the listed comments that'll be taken care of during building review.
Okay. And how does it work with on a duplex like this, for instance, on the septic system? Does each unit have its own septic
Each unit
system?
has its own septic system.
Okay. Are there any shared systems or utilities between the two units, drainage wise, et cetera?
So each unit, has its own drainage,
Okay.
which is, so if you look at the civil plans,
What page are you?
Yeah, that's good enough. So you can see how there's a line divided
Yes.
between the two houses. So everything to the north has its own trench drain, and then in the back it has its own dry detention area. The water main is along that north area closer to east. It's gonna come off of North Ocean Boulevard, and then there is a meter that should be a double meter, and then the water goes to each unit. There's separate lines that go to each unit.
Okay.
The septic is under the driveway, and it's septic, so it just attaches to the the house.
Yes.
And then, like I said, the drainage, they all have both systems in the front and the back.
Okay. Any questions?
It's signed up, but
They don't sign off until building permit, but it's been designed. So
Can I remind you to use your microphones, please? Mr. Khalil.
And that's the county, right?
the county, Palm Beach County Health Department, we ask for a design, because if you don't have the design, then afterward you might have to come back and change your site plan.
Yeah.
So that it's definitely designed, and then they get the permit before they come into building.
Any other questions at this time? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Our zoning official, Manny, good morning.
good morning.
Or Manny Palacios, zoning officer for the town of Ocean Ridge. Just a little clarification, Mr. Chairman, as Corey referred to about multifamily, under the town's definition of multifamily dwelling, means a building or other shelter that has been divided into separate units to house one or more families. In other words, it's a duplex would fall into that category. Okay. As far as the calculations, I went through them. My calculations are never going to be exactly the same as the applicants, only so much because I still use the old ruler scale. And subsequently, my numbers are different, but both our numbers fall within the accepted tolerance.
Okay.
Okay. Questions? I'd be happy to answer.
And why'd you do on the right-hand side, the single calcs? Is that
Well, that's just
that's your doing, that's just
yeah, I just did that just to let you know what
that's each individual unit then, if you're breaking them out? Got it.
exactly.
Okay. Any questions for Manny? Okay, great. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate your report. Okay, great. Applicant, can you present your project, please?
Hello, my name is Kayla Ellett. I'm a representative with Collin Builders. We're working with both Craig and Avi on this project. I put together a PowerPoint based on the information that's provided to you. So a little bit about this. It's a 2-story duplex located at 6470 North Ocean Boulevard. Collin Builders LLC will be the contracted builder. The project overview is it's a new construction 2-story duplex. The zoning is a medium density multifamily. Current use of the lot is vacant. The lot size is 22,106 square feet. Our architect is Kelly Yates, who is actually present with us. Our landscape is Tony Grimaldi, and our civil engineer is Andre Webster, who can both be available for questions via phone if needed.
Good.
In front of you, you'll have the site plan, which lists the setbacks and the total AC square footage, which is 9,703 square feet, and total under roof is 11,616 square feet. I have the elevations kind of combined on the PowerPoint, but you'll have them on separate pages in front of you. Our building height is 35 feet, 11 and a half inches, which is within the height tolerance. I'll go over the architectural style and material kind of toward the end, but we are anticipating a metal roof with some cultured stone and some composite wood as well. So the floor plans, it is both units are a 5-bedroom, 6-bath, and consisting of a 2-car garage. Onto the survey, I have attached both a current survey of the vacant lot and a proposed survey with the the duplexes on there. I did want to point out that in your paperwork has a detailed of the FEMA line and the mangroves, because that was something that was brought to our attention. So the orange line is the FEMA, and the green line are the mangroves. So we are not building within the mangroves or interfering. And then our landscape plan has a combination of coconut palms, Montgomery palms, bottle palms, orange bird of paradise, ficus green islands. There'll be mulch in the planting beds, and St. Augustine sod throughout. And then we've put together some surrounding properties, which directly to the east of the property is the Oceanfront Park. Directly to the south is the Town Hall. To the north of the property is 6480 North Ocean Boulevard. And we have photos attached of the surrounding properties as well. We've also attached the green space map, which the darker gray is the building area, which is the 5,491 square feet. The hardscape is in the lighter gray, and the green space is in as portrayed as the white space. And renderings, you have a couple photos at the end of all the renderings of the project. The building materials that we'll be using on site for the exterior paint is this Sherwin-Williams Snowbound SW 7004. We'll be using composite wood for the siding and front door and garage paneling, which would be the New Tech wood, Peruvian teak, and exterior, and we'll be using exterior stone.
What will you separate the two backyards?
There is a party wall in between. It's just not, it's on the architectural plan as well. I think the renderings, which we can have updated right away. But there is a party
It
wall
won't
in
be
between.
quite so exposed to each other.
No. And then the architectural style. It's a coastal transitional, what kind of goes along with the rest of the town of Ocean Ridge. And there is a narrative from Kelly Yates at the very end of your packet.
Great.
That's all I have for you.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. No other comments from your team at this time?
No.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Like to open this up to public comment if I could, please. Anyone in the public have any comments on this?
Rush up.
Don't rush up. We're sort of somebody today, Dave.
Yeah.
No, we'll close public comment. Board comment. Yeah.
I have some questions. First of all, I think it's personally, I like the fact that it's happening, number one. And given the fact of its location, I think that duplex was smart. I think it's good. So I'm supportive of it. The Peruvian wood, the high tech, tell me about that, because my concern is the finish and over time, what happens?
So it's the composite wood. So it's actually a little bit better than a typical wood that you put on like a typical siding. We kind of looked into this project and the product, and we thought it would be best fit based on what we've used in the past and the warranty that it has.
And what is the warranty? Just curious.
I do not have that as the top of my head. I
My
apologize.
concern is you have an east sun that's very strong,
Absolutely.
and the potential for fading might be great. And maybe that's the look ultimately that you want, but
I can speak about the product because
yeah.
I personally have it on my home.
okay.
It's synthetic and it has a UV protection on it. And I believe it probably has.
Can you, when you.
Sorry. Do you want me to repeat myself?
No.
No, your name.
Your name.
Oh, sorry. My name is Craig Dell. I'm the property owner.
Okay, great.
So I
Your
personally,
your address, please.
personal address?
Yes.
3050 Chateau Lane, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Okay, great. Thank you.
33410.
Yeah, that's how we know
My
who everyone
apologies.
is. Please, thank you.
So I personally have this product on my home. It's great as UV protection. In the front of my home, I have a western sun,
Okay.
which blasts it. And I've noticed no fading whatsoever.
And how long?
How long have I had the home? It's probably been for about 3 years.
Okay. So
But
that's
right now with like a Brazilian Ipe, like if we had the natural Brazilian Ipe with an eastern sun close to the water, I would say within 6 months you would notice fading on it. And my particular home is on the water. It's just on a canal off the Intracoastal.
That concern for that. I have some questions about, maybe not questions, maybe more comments. As the rest of the board will probably figure out, I'm going to comment on the north and south walls that in my view are very stark. If you want the back to be that, since there's no one really looking at the back, that's up to you. but the north and south walls are relatively visible, and I think they're a little bit just walls, stark. And not to comment on Mr. Yates, it's a well-designed home, but they're pretty plain, those north and south walls. And if you just go like, there it is. Anything we can do with that?
Sure. There's always,
Yeah.
those are, sure.
Again, please your name and full name and address.
My name is Kelly Yates. I represent Yates Associates Architecture. You want my personal address or my business address?
This is
330 Clematis Street in West Palm Beach, Florida. Suite 210. What can we do with it? I don't know. We could address it. There's really kind of spaces, normally on the side of a home, we don't embellish it too much. What you're speaking about being plain is the cave land there, where there's bedrooms, bathrooms, master bath, that type of thing on that wall. But the little more than a third of the space, there's the garage, which we've set back in the space. We've treated it with new tech wood. Maybe we could introduce some, we've done before where, you can line windows up and put the new tech wood in between them. We're sitting right on the setback, so I can't really make any projections. Maybe I can do something with that gable, put some decorative element on it.
more or less, look at the wall.
I see the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, the entry on the east side, the entry, you did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
And it just feels like I'm with him 1,000%.
I mean, we could do a few things, but we could also address it with landscape. I don't know
Yes.
I can't do any pushing and pulling. So I can only apply something on that one.
Right. Yeah, that's understandable. That's
Right.
what most, that's what I would expect
This
to do.
is a transitional home, so you wouldn't put a lot of decorative elements like shutters or anything like that on there. Maybe we make the windows larger. I don't know. I can't really tell you what those spaces are exactly. It's been about 6 months since I've worked on the floor plans. But,
I think there's a way to soften that wall.
Yeah.
And that's really the concept that I'm reaching out to you for. Soften the wall, because there's people that see it.
well,
Neighbors.
we've got the elements that we have on the front. We have the new tech wood and we have some stone. Maybe
That's all on the front. That's
all on the front, but maybe we can do some
incorporate some of that towards the
Yes, sir.
back.
Yes, sir.
It makes, or towards the
not in the
side.
back. I mean, the back, nobody's going to see that back elevation.
That's when I said the back, I meant
Yeah.
the wall there.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
But just give it some architectural
Sure.
design, some
Sure.
softening of those, because it's
I
stark.
agree with you. It's stark, but once it's landscaped,
Well, we know landscape change. You're right, but landscape goes
some
in and out.
vertical, I don't know, maybe that's a drainage field there that we can't put landscape up. I'm not sure. But you can see here where
Is
they've
it?
got the.
It's a drainage
pumps.
issue. She's shaking her head. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, you need all that space, and you can't do much with that. So
Yeah, but
your
I can envision-
creativity is going to have to go to the wall.
I would say that maybe we maybe enlarge some of the glass elements so it's not as much wall, and then we also introduce some of that new tech wood and some stone elements.
Maybe divide it up a little. I'm not an architect. I'm not, we'll let you use your creative brain,
Yeah,
but I would not be a fan of that look right now. And I don't think many would, quite frankly, knowing the personality of the town.
okay.
And although there's not many people looking at the rear elevation, that is a little bland.
I don't think there'll be anybody looking at the rear elevation unless you get
Well,
inside the mangroves.
today- Yeah, one thing we didn't have, mosquitoes won't be able to see. No. Is there an aerial that we have of this entire area? Because I didn't see it in the package. It's kind of chopped up. You really don't see much to the west.
Yeah.
Which I know are mangroves, but I just want to see it. Yeah. But Usually
No, that's all
in our packet, we
conservation.
get,
Swam is
yeah,
to the north.
usually in our packet, we get an aerial, I thought, that kind of showed everything around it. Yeah, I couldn't really see enough. The image, it's kind of small.
Or is your concern just to have it too stark in the rear as well?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, no one's going to see it. And, all right. And there's a privacy wall, we understand.
There would be a privacy wall separating the two. It's a full area.
And I agree with our vice chairman on the side elevations that they're bland and it should be independent of any landscaping, which doesn't sound like you can do much with landscaping anyhow. So that would be my comment as well.
Okay. Any other comments while I'm at
Lynette? Neil? I share the same comment. I mean, listen, your eastern elevations are really creative and nice, right? And it just feels like it dropped off the cliff when it went to the side of the space. So this is nicely done. It's has nice curb appeal and it's nice. Question we always ask here, I see my always ask is, granted, you got 5 bedrooms, you have the parking layout. Is that, wow, 5 bedrooms, you've got 5 cars parked here, certainly, yes. How this becomes a realistic, remember, you're going on and off of the roadway here of A1A, right? It wouldn't, do you have enough space here to make good movement to go out? So you're not backing into the, if you had 5 cars here?
Well, that's why, I mean, yes, if there's 5 cars there, it might be a little more difficult because there's a guest parking space, which actually, and then you have the
That's the one that's on its own right here, the guest parking space. Yeah.
Right. And that you could use that as a turning element. And then also the main driveway is very deep. It's deeper than what's required. So I think that you could get out quite easily. Now, just like any other, you got 5 parking spots, but your 2 cars are inside the garage and 2 cars are outside the garage. So those cars, it's just like anytime you go to a big party and people have to move their cars. You have to.
Well, what we find is the garages are typically not just used for cars, right? And so typically half the garage is used for storage of some nature or what have you, and the other half is used for potentially a car, right? Mm-hmm. And so that we find, we go through these approvals and all of a sudden we've got cars stacked up in driveways and we say to ourselves, why could we have done something about that? Right. And it feels like we, at times,
I mean, already your code is more restrictive than almost every other code that I deal with because you require 1 parking space per bedroom for single family residences. So this is, it's a duplex, but it's 2 single family residences.
Understand.
We have 5 parking spaces which are required.
Okay. No, I think that you understand my question.
I understand your question.
It's tight.
And the road is busy at times.
Yes. Yeah. Very busy at times. You wouldn't want to be backing out onto the road, guys, right? Not, maybe even this morning, you can see the cars going by. You're not going to be doing that. So, but you've incorporated that all into your site plan.
As much as possible, yes, sir. And there's some restrictions because there's some large telephone poles or electrical poles that we've had to work around because those aren't going to move at any time soon.
And the last comment you said, can you not? You got on the side, you have a small hedge. Can you put nothing vertical, small little?
I haven't reviewed the
landscape plan,
the drainage plan, or the septic plan. So
yeah,
if there's an area, because we can't put trees on the drain field, but if there's an area, because I'd like to see some vertical element of some type. In addition, I didn't do the rendering, so that was done with.
I'd like to see us try. I'd like your applicant to try to see what they can put on to create, in addition to what we've asked you previously, but also for the from a landscape perspective as well.
Absolutely,
yes, and working with our town engineer as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Any other comments? Thank you.
Excuse
me.
No, I was just, the whole driveway, you can't even you probably need every square inch of the lawn to.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
you know, it's
You're squeezing a lot in here.
You're squeezing a lot in.
There's no question about it, right? You're squeezing a lot into this little, this site, right? Absolutely. You've got a lot going on the site. And I just hope it doesn't, again, you're on a busy roadway there at times.
So do we want him to come back with the side elevations? Is that?
Side elevations and the incorporating and change the side elevations and the, see what we can do some landscaping. Would someone like to propose that?
I will
Okay, thank you.
make a motion to have the applicant return with modified elevations of the north and south of the building.
And including some landscaping, looking at landscaping.
To also include landscaping, additional landscaping.
Thank you. All in favor?
Second.
Aye. So second, excuse me. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Trying to think of a way to avoid them having to come back, but unfortunately, you gotta play with it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Christie's giving us a little something here. This is RSC non-conforming parcels. Good morning.
Yeah,
I haven't even
good
had a chance to say hello to you.
Good morning.
How's your summer been?
It's been great. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as you recall, there was the request to do some research on non-conforming lots in the RSC zoning district. And the town commission approved doing that research. So what I put together in my memo is some background on what the RSC district requires in terms of minimum lot size. And looking at the parcels in the RSC district, it's probably easiest if you look at, there's an aerial that's included showing that there's 3 parcels, 6201, 6195, and 6191 North Ocean that don't meet the current RSC zoning requirements. The current zoning requirements at issue is these lots have to be at least 100 feet wide. So on the aerial, you'll see, just using the rough measurements from the property appraisers, that these 3 lots are all don't meet the minimum development requirements. So what this means is they're non-conforming. So the additional research that I did that's included in the memo is going back to look at, were these legal lots of record, or did someone have a larger lot that they subdivided into 2 lots without going through the proper channels and created sort of an illegal non-conforming lot. Based on my research, looking back at the plats, it appears that these lots were all legally created at 50 feet wide. So what that means is under our code, they are considered non-conforming lots of record and they're grandfathered in. So that means they can develop these lots even though they don't meet the current RSC development standards for minimum lot size. What the challenge would be, and what I mentioned in my memo, is we currently don't have applications from these 3 property owners. But what this means is if one of these property owners wanted to redevelop, they would have to meet all the other requirements of the RSC district in terms of your floor area ratio, setbacks, and things like that. And with already having a lot that's not as wide, that does create some development challenges, or I should say could create development challenges.
Because you get to use up 30 feet of the lot just on the side.
Correct.
Setback,
Correct.
right?
So you're talking about a shotgun house.
Yeah.
Without getting a variance.
Yeah.
And, with new construction, getting a variance is difficult to show a hardship, even in this situation where you have a skinny lot, because it's new construction. And ideally with new construction, you can figure out a way to make it work. But so that's what the research has shown. They're all grandfathered in as non-conforming. So the question becomes, do you want to go ahead and somehow provide these 3 lots some type of additional development latitude, sort of like what we did for the properties that were between Anna and Corinne Street on Old Ocean, where we reduce the setbacks, increase the floor area ratio to give them a little bit more area to play with for new development. That's something that could be considered. Or do you wait to see if one of these property owners wants to develop, and then we have a conversation with what could potentially work for them without having to get multiple variances?
Well, I'll speak up.
Probably have some history in this, don't you?
Yeah. I vaguely remember, and Terry joined us here now. He probably remembers maybe as well. So, probably the late 90s, early 2000, when we were going through the code, this was coming back to me. And at the time, I think we purposely left some of these things alone with the anticipation that there would be a joinder of lots. The same thing occurred in Ocean View to the south, that we wanted to try to encourage the development, the joining of lots, people buying up and then developing.
Buying 2 lots. Creating
right.
1 lot. You're right. Yeah.
But at that time, you were getting an oceanfront lot for about $600,000. The one on Anna Street, I think sold for about $500,000 or $600,000. So the time frame, the prices were far different than they are today. So I think that is less likely probably to occur. And I think it would be, I do not agree with waiting and forcing somebody to go through a variance. That's not, in my view, a good way of doing business, especially when we have some knowledge that we can handle these types of issues by virtue of the Anna Street, by virtue of Ocean View, where we dealt with 50-foot lots. And I asked before the meeting, make sure Christy looked up what we did in the overlay on Ocean View dealing with. And so it might be cutting back the lots, setbacks to 10 foot. One time we had 7.5 foot setbacks here in the town. Then it went to 10, and now it's at 15. And so I was here at the 10-foot setback started, but now it's 15. I think it's impractical for those lots to be redeveloped at the setbacks for the RSC. So I think it's deserving of some relief for those properties, because the land is valuable and those are good lots, and all we're going to do is adjoining, we're going to get a bigger structure, bigger. It adds some character to the town at the same time. So
Do we know what their setback is today of the existing houses?
Can't be much. No, not the one in the middle.
Probably 5.5, 5 to 7.5, I would imagine 7.5.
Yeah. See that one in the middle, Neil? That's right on the property line, bro.
I mean, those things have been there a long time.
One borders the easement, right? So they could go right up to it. There's seems to be adequate room between the two, right? Between the 52-foot lot and the 56-foot lot. I think that's a combination of a drive and then it turns into a walkway.
I think it's their driveway, though. Yeah. They all enter that same shared driveway.
Halfway into it.
I don't know if I need to disclose. We were friends with John and are good friends with Jill Scheibels. So
and they're one of these, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know all three. So, I mean, this is like, but I'm looking at the property itself and not thinking about the people involved, but just looking at the property. What is the right thing to do? I think the right thing to do is to do that. Because if you really think about it, the north lot, that is not going to be joined with anything, right? Unless the neighbor buys.
And I believe that one is for sale or will be for sale because John passed away and Jill has bought in Pelican Cove.
So we know what the future for that is going to be of some sort. Anyway, that's my take on it. I would be in favor of doing a similar overlay or however the town attorney wants to tie it in to those reduced setbacks, if this needs to be a separate overlay or whatever you want to do, similar to what we did on Anna or Old Ocean.
Is that what you have, Christine, when you have grandfathered lots of record, you've added the line, this provision?
No, that's what's existing.
Oh,
That's what's existing. I was just trying to highlight it so you could see that. So they can be redeveloped, since they don't meet the required width, but they'll have other hurdles, with the setbacks and FAR and things like that. So I think it's a good idea to potentially look at how, if there must be some type of revocable permit to allow, I'm assuming that's undeveloped right away that's between the two northern lots, to see how that's used. There might be a revocable permit that allows them to use the town's easement or right away. The idea of eliminating the setbacks between those that border on that right of way or easement may be a good way to resolve for those two properties, because you always have to be sensitive reducing a setback next to another property owner, because now you're going to allow for them to get much closer to someone else's property.
But it's already close.
It's already that way.
Yeah.
So really, we might be benefiting it to a couple of feet. Who knows?
Can we get definition on what the current structures, what is the setback, side yard setback? Wouldn't we want
We can go back and look through, see if we have the
Is it
building
possible?
plans.
And I don't know, when you say the overlay, does the overlay give us the ability to just make a judgment on the side yard setback? Is that what it does?
Mm-hmm. We make a recommendation. The commission would
what you did
pass
with
it.
Anna Street and everything else just gives you the authority to kind of let's work with this piece.
It just reduced the setbacks. What we did between Anna and Corinne, the Ocean View special area also reduced the side setback to 10 feet. So it would be,
And those are 50-foot lots.
yeah, those are real.
So that's why they did it.
10-foot side yard setback
Mhm.
on each side. Wow, that's still narrow.
Right.
No, it's narrow, but
Good.
so it's like it's a hybrid situation in the sense that, and I remember in talking with Ocean View, for example, that we didn't want to make it too good because we still wanted to encourage the redevelopment. So if you reduced it to 5 feet, which may have made more sense, you would have been a very clustered area,
Yeah.
right? And it probably would not have been redeveloped the way it's been redeveloped. And some people are buying up and some are not, but I think some relief is, I'm going to give you an example. Which I won't tell you, there's a neighboring town that I had to deal with that had a similar situation. And so they were very reluctant to make any change. Said, fine, what's it going to look like with the current design? And when they drew what it would look like, the tune changed.
Yes.
Because if you put a block on there, but the current it's not going to be acceptable. So that's, and variances are not, I'm not a fan of approval by variance because they're very difficult. After sitting on the Board of Adjustment for years, it's just a difficult way of doing it. Now we have the opportunity to make something that works, and whether it's 10 or whatever we come up with, but it has to be something that makes sense. And the only reason why I say that, mimic what we already do for 50-foot lots, it's consistent with the rest of the town.
Yes. Is there any reason we wouldn't recommend doing the same, not less than what they presently have? As built? I mean, they look fine to me. I mean, I don't know why
What is the setback currently? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, I know, but
Where is it currently?
but will we?
You get that, right?
I mean, once we
Sure.
get that, will we want to do anything less than that?
Or have that it could be a lesser number between themselves and not such a low number between them and a neighbor who is conforming. So the north and the south most.
I mean, those
Could be
lots are
1
not
feet, and
10
then-
feet, greater than 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
I understand.
it's less.
But they do fine. What's the issue?
Well, but right now you can't do that. So if
I know,
you had to
I know, but-
redevelop it, you
Right.
can't do it.
Right. So why wouldn't we just leave it the way it is? Whatever it may be, we'll find out what the setbacks are. Why would
Because
we
they're
want to
probably all
impose anything
different.
less?
No, they're probably all different.
Yeah, but fine. Just grandfather.
Well, let's get the information. Can we do that? I think it's a good idea to get.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's
I'm
get
just
the
saying,
information.
yeah.
Like what Ken says, listen, for something like this, you don't need to drag someone through the variance process.
No.
It's right. They can't do that.
So what you're posing, and Christy, you can chime in. So what I'm hearing is that you grandfather the existing lot, the property itself, to the existing setback, as opposed to having a set
Requirement for the 3 lots to have a setback of X.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so long term that, I kind of like the thought of it, but let's see what it is, but
I
I'd
think
rather go with a set figure because long term, you try to do things for 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road and not necessarily today.
And a new house would be bigger than those so that, if it was a 5-foot setback and it had a setback at the second floor, a new building may go straight up 2 stories and be very different.
It would seem to me they got the maximum coverage they possibly could when they got it in the first place, and it's not going to be much more than it could be today. But anyway,
When some
let's
of
see what it looks like.
yeah, okay, I'm okay
Is
with
the
that.
lot coverage changed too on the overlay?
Yes, we
You reduced that as well.
reduced, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's decided you reduced everything.
But these are much bigger lots.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any-
Other ones are half the size. They're half the size.
Do we have any precedent for using the easement for part of their setback requirements?
That's what we got to look at because I don't know. It looks like if there is a drive off of the property into the town's right of way or easement, whatever that is, there should be some type of revocable permit. Usually that's the type of thing that you would use to allow someone to utilize.
My recollection is that drive stops 2/3 of the way up.
Okay.
I think when these were built, just there was very limited thought process put in. No, I wasn't here for that one. But because was it Olafson's right on the edge there? So or Thompson. But those are big.
Okay.
Those are old homes. Right?
Thank you.
I
The
think the northern, the one on the north is newer. Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to think when.
15, 20.
Scheibels was, according
Yeah.
to property appraisers, Scheibels was in 2000,
I was gonna
developed in 2000. So that was right before there was a major overhaul of the land development code.
Right.
Then the other 2 are significantly older.
No, 2000 was 10 feet. 2000, we went to 15.
Well, he got relief from the easement. You can tell.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back now. That we probably, it was a little bit lax in the 90s and even before that. So, except for Virginia when she was on the Board of Adjustment,
That's-
everything was no.
That's Pelican
But-
Cove's beach access, right? Isn't that Pelican Cove's beach access? Practically speaking in Hudson. Yeah.
It's
It's public,
access.
but yeah, it's,
it was little used, believe it or not. And then it became of interest as people started to come. Huh? Yeah, no, it's been, yeah. They wanted abandonment. No, it's been the whole thing.
Well, listen, can we get carry this?
Absolutely.
And also, if you could, can you just give us the overlay, just a simplistic view of that, please?
Yep,
Christie, just
will
we
do.
have that. And if we could see what the existing setbacks are. I like Mark's idea too. I think it's interesting, but let's just see what they are.
So is that great big house to the north of the 52-foot lot? That was new construction. That's the guy with the funny triangle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's new construction? Yeah,
Correct.
that's step back. So obviously the lines may be wrong because it looks like that would be required to be 15-foot setback.
Oh, absolutely.
So that doesn't look like a 15-foot setback. Granted, it's a huge house, so maybe it's just.
Yeah.
No, it's 15.
Oh, it's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta be.
But it looks.
Yeah, that might.
We're
be-
seeing, that's where we gotta get
Yeah,
the
that's
dimension.
the line.
That's why I like, let's get the dimensions, understand that. Great. Any other comments on this? RSC non-conforming?
I agree. We should decide, make a recommendation to give them relief now so they don't have to go through.
Agree with you. Okay, great. Commissioner comments, anything, gentlemen?
I just want to know how,
Too late.
Kenneth. How did you get the dock approved for 6480?
That's it.
Oh, I mean for Jeff's house?
Yeah.
That the Army Corps, it's okay.
It's on the other side of Spangro.
They will have a tough time getting docks here, won't they?
They will. Yeah. They're
Uphill battle.
Yeah.
I-
This was talking about that. Those were all designed to be multifamily. That whole area
Yeah.
was reconfigured to be multifamily. And then when the bank went under, so did the development and everything else. So, and then Jeff bought his 3 lots from the bank in foreclosure. And then, it actually worked out for the best. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Right.
Oh, you want to say something? You missed it earlier for public
Listen,
comments.
I can comment on anything.
Come on.
Okay, you got,
During public comment, but you were sleeping.
you sleeping.
I was getting my front door fixed. The lock broke. Terry Brown, Harbor Drive South. The thing that is important to remember is that the easement is not an easement. It's a public right of way, original road. And there was some effort by one of the property owners to snatch it and block it from people using, and that created a big problem on Hudson as well as Pelican Cove.
As
So
it
that's
should- as
one
it should.
comment I have to make.
Yes.
So you got to be careful, whatever you talk about, that's got to remain.
Absolutely.
It's not going anywhere.
It's like, going.
And I don't think it's a bad idea to study this issue because you'll have a file, but in the absence of an affected applicant, someone that wants this, there's not any action you can really take
That's not true.
according to the code, right?
The Planning and Zoning Board could make a recommendation to the town commission that they want to see changes, a text amendment to this zoning district. Somehow deal with these properties. So they could make that recommendation to the town commission, and then the town commission could say, okay, let's do this or not do this.
Okay.
And then we do an ordinance to change whatever's need to be
But you'd
changed.
be doing this without an applicant.
Yes.
That's what I'm pointing out, that's clearly stated somewhere in your code, that you need an affected person or an applicant to move forward completely with an ordinance.
I think the Planning and Zoning Board within its powers and duties has the ability to recommend text changes to
Text
the
amendment.
town commission. Yeah. And then if the town commission wants to have it pursued, they would give that authority.
And I like Ken's comment regarding the 2 lots to the south. If they were absent any wheelbarrow full of money, if someone bought both those lots, they could actually do a unification and it would technically end up being 1 lot. So it would be more than 100 feet wide.
yes,
And you could put a huge mansion in there, right? Am I right?
but all subject to the current.
So you'd have to buy both properties.
And then you'd have a 52-foot lot remaining.
Yes,
See,
but
we don't solve
that would be
for-
north of the right of way.
That's that balancing that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So you want it just enough to make sure that their properties, but not too much. So
Yeah.
it's still, even at 10 feet, there's still the incentive to maybe do that. And that's a long shot. They both have to be available.
And not that this would be important, but it's a little bit of history. Most of those properties from Anna north sit right on top of the old road right of way. Now, some of them were legally abandoned, but most of the road right of way was administratively abandoned when they moved A1A. The state said, I don't care. Some jurisdictions took over, like the town took over south to Dog Beach, and Briney has their section. By the way, Briney has a title to their section. They actually could legally develop it. They went to DOT and got a title to it. But those properties sit on that old public right of way. It's on there. If you go back far enough, it's there. And what happened was the road was in such bad shape, they rebuilt a new one, and the properties, all of a sudden they joined the properties together and took the road right of way.
Yeah, what is that?
That's old days. That's the old school.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. See it. Are we sure these are the only 3 remaining lots in the town that have this non-conforming issue, that if we're making another precedent or another decision, that we're not leaving another one or several more that are going to come before us?
I didn't check anything outside of RSC.
I don't know.
Okay, now we're adjourned.
Let the record show that we're sinking in the ship. All right.